Welcome to Jersey Matters. I'm Larry Mendte. Sports betting in New Jersey, you know, has been a success story. The amazing thing is how much of a success story it has been so far and the benefit to the state. To talk about all of the above is Bill Pascrell III, partner at Princeton Public Affairs Group. Thank you so much for coming back. Look, you should be smiling. Is this like your full-time job now? I know you were involved in politics. Are you still dabbling in that, or is this taken over?
Oh no, politics is my world, but this is much more fun and exciting and real. Politics is just...
And it's a growth industry. I mean, I think people thought it's legalized, that's going to be the end of it. Every time I talk to you, it's some new venture.
Thank you for having me. Larry, we have now about 14 states that have legalized sports betting at the retail level, a handful retail and online. Retail meaning walk into the shop and place the bet. Since June 14th of 2018, we've just, and the February numbers, which will capture a piece of the Super Bowl, the majority of the Super Bowl numbers come in late, we're approaching the $7 billion mark in New Jersey alone, which is incredible. $467 million in revenue, which revenue is handle, all the bets placed, less payouts. That's incredible money. 17 online books, 10 retail books, so 27 operators more or less in the state of New Jersey. Meadowlands and FanDuel and Monmouth Park and William Hill are the leaders by far of the pack. Dennis Drazen, which is our bud, has really just transformed this business. Thanks to Dennis, we're here today because he had the foresight 15 years ago to start this process.
Oh, and pushed it to the Supreme Court.
Exactly.
No, absolutely, he's been wonderful. But how much did New Jersey benefit from being first?
Big time, for a couple of reasons. Pennsylvania has a really silly law. Huge numbers up front. You don't have to pay $10 million to get into the business in New Jersey. You do in Pennsylvania, so they don't have as many books. Their online is very dodgy. It needs to get more sophisticated, and their tax structure is despicable. 38% tax structure on a marginal business. New Jersey got it right. The world has recognized that, and there's a whole host of reasons. For example, we benefit every day, particularly in the Super Bowl, because Governor Cuomo only passed retail betting. So you have to go into a shop in New York. So if you live in New York or Manhattan, and you want to bet on the Super Bowl, but you don't want to go to the upstate because there's no casinos in Manhattan or New York City, you have to go across the bridge and click your bet and go back, and Jersey gets those revenues.
How much? How big are those revenues from people coming from New York to bet online because they can't in New York?
33% of New Jersey's business is coming from Pennsylvania and New York.
So if they get their act together, we lose 33%?
No, but see, the problem is it's not that simple. You don't flick a switch and tomorrow every New Yorker, they're already on New Jersey sites. So now they have to get socialized to move to the New York sites. And that takes a lot of money, which is called the affiliate business, to acquire players.
The fact that New Jersey did it right, and the fact that you were in on that from the very beginning, pushing it through, and the fact that other states are now having problems, that must be great for your business.
Business has been great. I'm blessed and I'm excited.
Because people are coming to you, right? And saying, how did you do it? How did it work in New Jersey? Can you do it here?
I'll give some free advice. If you are an online operator and you want to get into America, forget about brick and mortar for a minute, okay? There's one thing you should do, which most other advisors like me are not advising. Use New Jersey as the trampoline effect. Because if you get licensed in New Jersey, you can get licensed in any jurisdiction in the world. That doesn't hold true for the other jurisdictions. New Jersey is recognized, thanks in great part to Governor Christie and the New Jersey DGE, which Governor Murphy has embraced to his credit. New Jersey is recognized globally as the toughest regulatory market. They don't allow for anybody with a dodgy past, taking illegal sports bets, anti-money laundering. So my advice is, come here, whether you're going to retain me or not to help you, come here and use it as a trampoline effect to get into the other.
Should we save that clip of a Democratic political consultant praising Governor Christie?
Absolutely. Governor Christie and I, although we couldn't disagree more on politics, we're aligned on this issue.
What's new? What's the next step for New Jersey?
Three things, and New Jersey, again, will be ahead of the curve. Ahead of the curve on exchange wagering for horse racing 10 years ago. We were involved in that.
Explain what that is.
Exchange wagering, Larry, is peer-to-peer betting. So instead of going to the book at a horse track, you post online a bet. Larry Menti posts a bet. Bill Pascrell takes the bet. The exchange takes a rake. You win, I pay you. I win, you pay me. It's called peer-to-peer betting. So there's no risk to the house. They're like a stock exchange. They just take a rake. That's been involved in horse racing for...
The rake is from the winner, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Exactly. So that was done 10 years ago. And then in 2013, we did online gaming. And in 2018, we did sports betting. Leader in the market, recognized globally. New Jersey's going to become, and I think it is already, but some are trying to debate this issue, it's becoming the mecca, the hub for online gaming in America.
Okay, that was number one. You said there were three things.
Right. Number two was the online gaming, and number three was the sports betting. But here are the three things that are coming. This is the next page, the next chapter. While everybody's playing catch up to try to get into the business that aren't in already, whether they do what I do or whether they do other services, exchange wagering in sports betting is coming. And that's huge because every online stock broker company, the Charles Schwabs of the world, are trying to get into that business. That's huge because there's no risk to the exchange. A lot of money to get up and running. New Jersey already has it in the law. No other state in the nation does. Number two.
When will it happen? It's not happened yet. No.
It's not a question of if, but when. The law's already in place. It's a question of the back end doing the technology piece. And I think it'll happen probably within a year.
Okay.
Number two is esports. Jersey will be ahead of the curve again. Assembly wagering chairman Ralph Caputo, who you know very well. Ralph is working hard to try to bring esports into it. There's a lot of issues with concerns about, younger youth, juvenile playing and being able to trade off of their experience. That's all.
Would it happen right online during the game?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Yes.
No, I understand the concern.
There's over 60 colleges in America and universities that provide scholarships for esports.
I get it, but there's people watching right now that have 13 or 15-year-old, sons and daughters and grandchildren that play this all the time, and that's where the concern comes in.
But they also have 13 and 14 and 15-year-olds playing Little League baseball and football. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. There's no difference.
There's no bookie right there.
No. And then finally, more importantly, because of where we are today, Larry, and you know this well, American horse racing is doing this. It's a $10 billion a year industry in America. 330 million Americans bet $10 billion a year on horse racing. Australia, where I have a nice cadre of clients, are going to move the dial here to bring fixed odds to horse racing in America for the first time. And we're going to have that event May 2nd, where Governor Murphy will again take the first bet. Australia has 24.6 million people. They do $30 billion a year in horse racing. This is good for the breeders, the veterinarians, the horsemen, the tracks, and the state of New Jersey.
Fixed odds. Like if I were to bet on the Giants, and I bet them at 7.5.
It locks.
It locks.
Right.
It doesn't go up and down. Correct. Horse racing, that's not the case.
Of course, we have a pari-mutuel pooled bet.
Yeah, so that's what would change. It would be just like the betting on the line?
Exactly the same. And what's important to note, because there's a lot of horse people that watch your program, I know that because I hear it after you air. What happens is the pari-mutuel pool won't deplete. The pari-mutuel pool will actually rise a little bit because people like to do both. A fixed odds bet is a locked-in bet. It doesn't move, but people also like to play the pari-mutuel. But more importantly, you'll now be able to do parlays with a baseball game or a football game or with a horse race.
More money. Thank you, sir.
Pleasure.
You're the best.
Pleasure.
Bill Pascrell III, partner at Princeton Public Affairs Group. When we come back, let's stay on the topic of legalized sports betting and talk to a journalist who covers the nation to find out exactly how well New Jersey is doing.